Have you ever wondered if you could, actually alter your own consciousness to see different realities? Well, turns out the US government was wondering the exact same thing. So let's dive into one of the most bizarre and fascinating documents they ever declassified, a report from the US Army that's basically a guide on how to do it.
And no, this isn't a sci-fi movie pitch. This is a real official analysis from 1983, written by a US Army lieutenant colonel. His job? To evaluate something called the Gateway Experience, a training system that was designed to teach people how to literally move their consciousness outside of the physical world. It's this wild journey into quantum physics, neuroscience, and metaphysics, all looked at through the very serious lens of military intelligence.
So you're probably asking, how on earth did they think this was even possible? Well, the report doesn't start with anything mystical. It starts with biology. It's all about hacking your own brain. So the author starts by breaking down techniques that were already pretty well known for altering consciousness. You've got hypnosis, which basically tells your analytical left brain to take a nap. Then there's biofeedback, which is all about learning to consciously control stuff you normally don't, like your heart rate. And transcendental meditation, which uses intense focus to create these specific energy waves in your brain. The Gateway process, the report says, is basically a way to take all of these, combine them, and then crank the whole thing up to 11. Now, this secret ingredient, the key piece of tech that makes this whole thing go, is something called HemiSync. It's a really clever audio technique. The idea is actually pretty simple. You play one sound frequency in your left ear and a slightly different one in your right. Your brain, trying to make sense of this, actually creates a third phantom beat, a binaural beat, inside your head. And it's that beat that gets both halves of your brain, the logical left and the creative right, to finally start working together, to get on the same page. And the science behind why HemiSync even works is this principle called the frequency following response. What does that mean? Well, our brains are basically hardwired to copy rhythms they hear. It's kind of like tapping your foot to a song without even thinking about it. If you listen to a specific audio tone for long enough, your own brainwaves will start to match it. So by designing these audio tapes just right, the Gateway process can literally guide your brain into some very, very specific states of mind. And this right here, this illustrates the whole goal. When both sides of your brain are in sync, what they call coherent. The report says it creates this powerful resonance that just massively amplifies your brain's energy. I love this analogy in the report. It's like a laser. Normally, your brain is like a light bulb, shooting out energy in every direction. HemiSync is supposed to focus all that energy into a single, powerful, coherent beam.
So what does this actually look like in practice? Well, people are guided through a series of focus levels. You start at focus 10, which is a state where your body is totally deeply asleep, but your mind is wide awake and alert. From there, you go to focus 12, where your awareness starts to expand beyond your physical body. And then things get weird. Focus 15 is described as a state of no time, and focus 21 is apparently a bridge to other realities, which they claim lets you see the future. But for a bridge to another reality to even be a thing, our own reality has to be a lot stranger than we think.
Okay, so that's the how, using sound to get your brain into these incredible states. But why would that let you bend time and space? This is where the report takes a huge leap, right out of neuroscience and into a completely mind-bending theory about what reality even is.
And this quote, pulled right from the document, is the absolute core of it all. This is the foundation for everything that follows. The report argues that we've got it completely backwards. Our brain doesn't create consciousness. It's more like a TV set. It's a receiver, tuning into a signal of consciousness that's already out there, everywhere, all at once.
To try and explain this, the author goes straight to quantum physics, specifically the holographic principle. The theory is that the universe itself isn't made of solid stuff, but it's one gigantic, complex hologram, just a massive interference pattern of energy waves. And here's the kicker. Just like a tiny piece of a photographic hologram still contains the whole picture, the report claims that each of our individual minds contains the information of the entire universe.
I mean, just look at these diagrams. They're straight out of the report. On the left, you've got the human mind, which they call a consciousness energy grid, and on the right, you have the entire universe, drawn as a cosmic egg or a torus, which is just constantly recycling energy. The report says, look, these are the same pattern, just at different sizes. We are a tiny copy of the whole thing. Okay, so if the universe is a hologram, and our minds are basically remote controls that can access it, what's the next step? Well, according to this report, it's learning how to use that connection to consciously check out of our physical dimension completely.
The place you're trying to get to, the ultimate destination, is what they call the absolute. The report describes it as this huge cosmic void of pure energy. It's timeless, it's formless, and it's the source from which all of reality, our entire holographic universe, just projects out of. It is the reality behind the reality we see every day.
And this is supposedly how you get there. This diagram shows our consciousness as this oscillating wave. As the gateway process uses hemisync to speed up your brainwaves, that wave gets shorter and shorter and vibrates faster and faster until it's moving so fast that it actually vibrates beyond the smallest possible measurement in our physical universe, something called Planck's distance. And in that moment, you click out of our time and space and slip into the dimensions in between.
So, what are the, practical applications of all this, if you can even call them practical? And what's the ultimate point of this whole cosmic journey anyway?
I mean, the list of abilities the author thinks are possible is just extraordinary. Out-of-body experiences are just the starting line. The report talks about using remote viewing to gather intelligence, tapping into this universal mind for instant problem solving, and even something called patterning reality, which is basically using your focused mind to influence the hologram and make things happen. And of course, you've got traveling to the past and future using those focus levels we talked about.
The report even takes a shot at explaining what happens when we die. It suggests that our consciousness, which is this unique, self-aware little packet of energy, just goes back home to the absolute. It takes all its memories and experiences with it and rejoins that infinite cosmic intelligence, but without actually losing its own identity.
And that all leads us to the final, really profound question that this whole document leaves us with. After walking through all the brain science and the quantum physics, this is where we land. For nearly 30 pages, a U.S. Army officer makes a detailed, logical case that our entire understanding of consciousness could be completely upside down. So whether you think this is real science or total science fiction or something else entirely, the Gateway Process Report makes you stop and ask, what is the true nature of reality? And what exactly is our place in it?